Hi, darling. Welcome back. Whenever a social media influencer, especially a South African social media influencer, gets any alteration to their body, South African social media is in a frenzy. We see the comments whenever Faith Nketsi gets a new procedure done or her waist looks a little more cinched than normal. We see it with Cyan Bougie getting her BBL reviewed a few times, and people had so many negative opinions about her BBL throughout the years. We see it with Mihlali. When Mihlali had her BBL done, there were a lot of comments about these women's bodies, and I understand, yes, they technically signed up for this, because if you are a social media influencer, you signed up to be under a microscope. Whatever you do is influential. Your actual name is an influencer. So it's no surprise that whatever an influencer does, people are always watching and observing. So it was no surprise to me that when Mihlali got porcelain veneers, social media was in a frenzy. South African Twitter was in a frenzy. Like, the comments, guys, the comments were crazy. I was like, okay, I don't want to add to the negative comments. This video, if you thought this video would be like, a breakdown of who Mihlali is or her character, or diagnose her with anything, no, this is not that type of video. This video adds a different perspective. I'm hoping to share a very different perspective with you on what this means and how I relate getting veneers as the new gold tooth in South Africa. So before I add my breakdown and explain all these concepts that I'm sharing with you, I want us to watch these videos by two influencers. The first one is going to be from Mihlali, and the other one is going to be from Sni Mhlongo, and I will add my opinion after.
Yo! Prepare to be sick of me. Prepare to be sick of me. Prepare to be sick of me.
Listen, I can respect. No, I can't. I can understand why. I can't understand it either. Hold on. I'm finding it. I am not surprised that there are people who have strong opinions over me getting my teeth done and doing my teeth. It's a little bit insane, because why are your opinions this strong about what's happening in my mouth? But to say that there's no difference is insane. I'm sorry, like, that is just a bold-faced lie. I'm so sorry, like, hello? Be so for real. Because one, the teeth are already done. I don't know what you guys want me to do. I'm not going to take them out. Two, do your own teeth. In fact, singing Bambi. There were my heart. You guys saying my teeth were perfect before. There was nothing wrong. Thank you so much. Love you loads. But they weren't. They're perfect now, but they weren't perfect before. Also, TikTok likes making me look like I'm gatekeeping, because I don't know where the comment where I gave estimate cost what is right now, but I definitely replied to someone and told you that it was around, well, over 200K for all my teeth. But it's best to just get a quote, because you don't have the same issues as me for your teeth, and you may not have to change as many teeth as I did, and you may not have to do the exact same things that I did, because I have crowns and veneers. So it all just depends on you and your teeth.
In my opinion, I think Mihlali had a beautiful dental formula. Mihlali is gorgeous, guys. And one thing I realized is that both these women are gorgeous. Mihlali and Sni, gorgeous, gorgeous girls. And one thing that I notice is that obviously beauty is currency, and in social media, there is a currency when it comes to being beautiful. I personally was a little surprised at her getting veneers because I'm just like, have we seen videos of her before? Like, Mihlali has nice teeth. She has always had nice teeth. Like, gorgeous, gorgeous girl, gorgeous teeth, gorgeous smile. She had that type of smile that you're just like, girl, wow, okay, mesmerizing. I don't want to be one of those people who kind of tries to diagnose her, or just, people have done that already on social media. This is not that type of video, but yes, I am a person and I do see, and I'm just like, wow, like, okay. But I understand both these influencers were sponsored by the same dental surgeon or dental clinic in Turkey. And first things first, these individuals that we are talking about today, especially Mihlali, are grown adults. So I, as someone who has tattoos, yes, I have tattoos, I don't think we have an opinion on what someone does to their body. Personally, she's an adult. She can do anything she wants to her body. And whether or not that is a good thing or a bad thing, that is her lesson to learn. Like, we have body autonomy. We have things that we do to our bodies. And I know that, yes, people are just like, she's beautiful. So obviously the scrutiny is even higher, but it's her body at the end of the day. Whether you like it or not, it's her body. So for me, even if we leave these negative comments, it's never going to change that. People want to do what they want to do. It's their life, it's their bodies, it's their autonomy. But I want to add a very interesting perspective. What do I mean when I say veneers are the new gold teeth? I mean this in the sense that if you remember, if you grew up in the early 2000s or have relatives from the 80s who were born in the 80s and 90s, one thing that I've noticed, every family has someone with a gold tooth. Okay, let me not generalize, but I grew up seeing a few adults with gold teeth when in the early 2000s. And one thing that I remember about having gold teeth is that a gold tooth in South Africa, before all the memes, before we started making fun of people with gold teeth, now obviously the gold tooth is considered ghetto, or some people wouldn't date someone with a gold tooth. Before all this drama, gold teeth was actually a symbol. It was a symbol that at home we have professionals, at home we have teachers, at home we have people with money. So whenever you saw someone with a gold tooth in the early 2000s, that symbolized a different social class. That symbolized that, yes, we have medical aid at home and we can afford to basically go to a dentist and get a gold tooth. Those were indicators of social class, and I don't want to do a breakdown of South African history and why we show off our wealth on our bodies, but it is one of those things that have been done throughout time to indicate social class. And then, this is not a new phenomenon. People changing or altering their bodies is not a new thing. If you even look at South African tribes, like the Zulu people, there was a time where I remember, even growing up, I've seen one person with this procedure done, were ear stretching. Ear stretching or ukukaza was a thing that was done to symbolize someone's social status, someone's ready, that you were ready for marriage, that you were matured, that the bigger, I think they said, the bigger the ear was, how stretched it was, indicated your age or your readiness for marriage and just how matured you were. I stand to be corrected. But we also had the Ndebele people. We have the Ndebele people who used to wear like these neck braces that symbolized that a woman was married or she had a husband, and that did modify the neck. We even had scarification, or how do I pronounce it? Ukava. Scarification, where they basically take a razor blade and they drew lines in people's faces. These things have always existed. Body modification has always existed in human history, even in African history. How does this relate to Mihlali's modification? How does the gold tooth, the stretching of the ears, how does this all relate? These things are connected in the sense that now we're in a different time, obviously. We're no longer influenced by our small villages. We are influenced by the global village. We are connected with the global world through social media. So influences and how to indicate your social class has changed in the sense that Mihlali getting porcelain veneers or Sneak getting porcelain veneers, it might not be intentional, but it is a way to differentiate themselves, similar to the gold tooth. It's an indicator now that, hey, I am of a different class. I am of a different social standing, because the veneers are expensive. And someone talked about how these veneers are not meant to be realistic. I'm not sure if that's the intention for most people, to get like these very bright veneers, but someone said these veneers are not meant to be realistic. They are not indications of a good veneer job. Here is the video.
Controversial opinion that I know is going to have you guys ready to fight me in the comments, but I don't care because I feel like it needs to be said. If your veneers look like this, it is a botched job. This is considered a botched job in the aesthetics world. And I'm sure we all know at least one person who veneers look like this. Maybe you want veneers that looks like this, but this is considered bad work. And the reason why is because there's this rule in aesthetics that the best work is always undetectable. We are not supposed to know that you have veneers. All we should be able to see is that you have a beautiful smile. And also, these kind of veneers are actually the worst ones that you can get because it requires you to gnaw your teeth down. And these are more transparent, but they're also more aesthetically pleasing. And lastly is that this is considered cheap work. So we can tell that you didn't spend a lot of money on your veneers. Just beautiful. So yeah, black and brown people, I know that you want to start to elevate your appearance as you come into more money, but just know that cheap veneers and bad veneers is actually going to cheapen your appearance. So yeah, do not take the cheapest, obvious, and most loudest route when it comes to investing in your smile, because it's very obvious and no real teeth looks like that.
So I have a theory, and my theory stands to be refuted. I believe that some people, I don't know if this is the case for Mihlali, but we've seen it with Americans. I don't think some people get these veneers for them to look realistic, because I do believe that these individuals have the money to get veneers that look more realistic or mimic natural tooth. You know, like a natural tooth has like a gloss to it. It's almost a little translucent. I don't think they care about the appeal or looking natural. People want to look like they have veneers. people want you to see, especially considering that these individuals are social media influencers. It is a status symbol. It is a status symbol to have very white teeth. It's like, hey, it's like the new gold tooth. It's like, hey, we can afford this. You cannot afford this. You don't belong in this class. You cannot sit with us. It is an indication, whether people want to admit it or not, whether it's not your intention. When we see these things, we're like, oh, this person has money. Look at their teeth. Look at this. This person has money. And I know whether or not you don't do that for social approval or social status, people do see those things. People are visual. So they are going to, people who have a keen eye for luxury will look at those things and be like, oh, okay, this individual here has money. So I am of the opinion that these individuals don't get veneers to look realistic. Throughout time, human beings have done alterations to their bodies to indicate social status. Human beings have changed, have done things that now would be considered abnormal to their bodies to indicate that, yes, I am married. Yes, I am ready for marriage. Like, there were cultural things, and culture changes throughout the years. Now we're in a global culture, and obviously being an influencer is a part of our culture now. It is a different career field that people do pursue, or some people do aspire to. And with that, there is people want to differentiate themselves. There is things constantly, I don't know what is it about human beings, but we do want to differentiate ourselves class-wise. That's why when people make money, they want to leave the township for safety, obviously, but also it's like, hey, I've elevated. I need to show that my life has elevated by moving to an apartment or moving to a bond house, getting a car. These are key markers of that. And with each different class in South Africa, yes, there is differentiation. And what I am saying is, whether or not you agree or disagree about people getting cosmetic procedures, people altering their bodies, yes, they might be ruining healthy teeth or healthy tissue, or altering their bodies to look abnormal to the most people. I think you cannot stop people from doing what they're doing. You can give advice, but at the end of the day, this is not a new thing. Human beings have been altering their bodies. It's just now it is basically commercialized. It's commercialized, it's capitalism. But you can't stop people from getting these plastic surgery procedures. And you need to be comfortable with knowing that you will never understand why everyone makes certain decisions. And that's why I generally believe like critical thinking is so important. You need to be comfortable with the uncomfortable at times. You need to be uncomfortable that you don't understand why other people do certain things to their bodies. And as long as it doesn't affect you, let it be. For me, I just believe like at the end of the day, we can talk, we can rant, we can say, oh, she was so pretty, like she ruined pretty teeth. People have autonomy. And throughout time, changing your body or altering scarification, doing stuff to your body is not a new thing. Yes, now it might seem bizarre, but culture changes. I just want us to learn how to just understand that certain things are not for us and certain things are just part of human behavior. That's the complexity of being human. We don't understand why certain human beings make certain decisions. As long as it's not harming you, you can have your opinion, but at the end of the day, don't think it's going to stop people from doing what they want to do. It's their lesson to learn if it's a bad decision. So, darlings, how do you feel about this conversation? And Do you think these procedures were just unnecessary? Let me know in the comments section, okay? And if you did watch this video till the end, I'd really appreciate it if you put a fruit, any fruit in the comment section. And thank you for watching. Bye-bye, darling.